can't wait. I almost jumped out of bed to play because I thought it was today. Oh, yeah, it's next Friday. Next Friday. You should grind it a bit. Absolutely, you should. Let's not use this sword. You know what? We're going to be going in somewhere anyways. What other weapons did we get? You know what? Let's keep using the Morning Star for right now. I just feel like it kind of fits. Kind of fits. Can we put on that other armor too? That armor we just picked up, the scaled armor. We can. That immediately gets us. Look at that. Look at that. Woo! Like royalty. Look at us. Don't we look good? We're good. That works. Yoink. So this is Castle Morn. Normally there would be a giant out front firing a great bow at you, and you would have to come up and kill him. We already actually killed him, and this leads you into essentially Castle Morn. You can see the travesty that has become Castle Morn. All of the people here are pretty much dead. And when we first take this lift up, we're actually going to be walking into what is essentially a celebration. A celebration at the hands of those who have now conquered or are in the midst of rebelling against their slavers. And it's the misbegotten. And you can see right here, they're actually almost cheering. You can see almost hands raised as in triumph, you know, because they now sit upon the corpses of those who once ruled them. Let's just put it that way. So let's come up here. There's a couple of dogs for us to fight. Let's do this. Can we one hit them? No, we're gonna have to do two. There's a dog there, and there's also one hiding around the corner as well. Almost got to me, little buddy. And an item, a smithing stone 2. And there's a couple of other dogs that will be roaming around. The one to the right, far right, he's the one you really got to worry about because he roams back and forth. Man, I'm really liking this casting. I'm not going to lie. I'm really liking it. Boy, that has a lot of tracking to it, doesn't it? So it's still 2 to kill these guys. There are some smoldering butterflies here. Let's grab those. What build are you doing? Really? No build. No build. Athena, I'm more or less... I'm preparing for anything when it comes to the DLC. I want to be able to do everything. So if we actually look at our stats right now, we're kind of way overpowered at this point. We're way overpowered at this point. And if you look at our stats, I'll give you the other view right now. You can see that we're actually at 24 faith, 24 intelligence, 20 dexterity, and 18 strength right now. I'm kind of going to be leveling everything very equally for most of our way through this playthrough because I want to be able to do anything because we don't know what the DLC has in store for us. So I'm probably looking at taking this. That's a lot of probablys. I apologize. We're going to probably take this up to probably level 250, somewhere around there. Level 250. There's going to be a lot that we're going to be doing. I don't even know if we have enough time before the DLC comes out, so. All right, now drink a blue. Dude, this is actually amazing. That one sees me. Come get it! Athena says, oh, wow. Ah, smart. That's true. Not sure what the DLC is going to bring. Exactly. So I want to be able to do anything. So at the drop of a dime, I might not do the best damage. You know, I might not hit for, you know, every hit might not take half of the boss's damage away. But what it does offer me is the ability to, at any time, I can drop a build and go to something else. So let's say an enemy, I hit it with magic and it does no damage. I know it's resistant to magic. I can instantly flip to faith, or that does no damage. All right, now I can try strength on him and I'll use a strength weapon. So that's kind of my goal. Let's try out, oh, we need a drink. Let's try out the glintstone stars. Ah! that didn't do shit. Here. Take that! Get cut up, bro! All right. Did have an item drop over here. Iron Cleaver. This is actually kind of a rare item, and we've gotten it both times that we've come here. The Iron Cleaver. Right here. And it's considered an axe. It requires 15 strength, 7 dexterity. It says a fairly large iron cleaver, commonly used by the maltreated misbegotten. Steeped in resentment, these weapons are swung wildly and relentlessly, often after rushing up on foes. And its skill is Wild Strike. Swing the armament with wild abandon. Hold to continue swinging can be followed up with normal or strong attacks. They're not that great. They're not that great. It's for the poor people. It's a poor person's axe, all right? It's not... No! 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 Okay, listen, you're going ham on me over here, bud. That's half his health. You bit me! If you actually look, of all the terror and the things that are wrong with these animals, or these creatures, they have absolutely perfect teeth. Not a lie. You can see their teeth are perfect. What? I got hit by him. Whatever. Whatever, bro. Absolutely perfect teeth. Athena says, that's true. I should start a new character and grind as much as I can. Yeah. Well, technically, all you have to do is you have to have killed the shard bearer Radon, and you also have to have killed Moog. So Moog is endgame without a doubt, but yeah. Let's use Rock Sling on this guy. Dead. Make him dead. And he dropped a Sanctuary Stone. We've already picked up one of those. Yeah, you got a lot to do. Yeah, Moog is pretty end game. Smithing Stone 1 sitting there. Let's drink another blue drink. We're going through the blue drinks right now. I'm not going to lie. Let's just keep it to Glintstone Pebble from right now. And if we come along the back side over here, there's actually a ladder that leads up the side. We're not going to take that just yet because there is a chest with an item back here that we can go and grab. And of course, we're grabbing everything, so we got to do that. We got to go get that item. Do it. Do it. That's why I said I don't even know if I'm going to have time to actually get to where I want to get to. Like, that's a week away. We stream every single day, but for 3 hours, that's still only 21 hours of playtime. And that is a Claymore. The Claymore. And this one is essentially a great sword. It requires 16 strength, 13 dexterity. This has an amazing moveset, by the way. It is a very good weapon. You could use this weapon from beginning of the game to the end if you really wanted to. It says a large sword with a long straight blade. This heavy sword is usually wielded with 2 hands, but for those with enough strength, 1 is sufficient. In addition to heavy sweeping attacks, it can also make a heavy piercing thrust, making it a very versatile weapon. And its skill is called Lion's Claw, and Lion's Claw is so good. It is an amazing skill. Says a skill of the Redmanes who fought alongside General Radon. Somersault forward, strike foes with an armament. We can use this. We're going to put it on right now, and I'll actually show you guys how badass this is, even though it's going to use up some of our blue juice. So it's actually a cool looking weapon. We're fat. We're fat rolling. Change your shirt, bro. Let's go with... Well, that, still heavy. You know what? The ninja outfit does bring us down to normal. We're at medium now. Outside, there's going to be some enemies that are fighting, so that gives us an opportunity to actually show it off. Yep, it's kind of fucking awesome. We got a bolt from them. So that's the skill right there. Flipping, somersaulting forward and smashing it down on their backsides. So damn good. I love that skill. And if we travel up here, we can actually see that there is kind of a little bit of a battle going on. So the siege of Castle Morn is not completed. We actually come up here and it's in the process of happening right now. And you can see that there's definitely battles happening. And we're gonna make use of this this moment. There's the thrusting attack, which is very good as a little poke. We also got a draped tabard, which is cool. We already had one. Got him! Boy, arc is amazing, isn't it? Isn't that really, really good? Especially when you get in these big groups like this. Wow, that's amazing. A couple of enemies down here. One right there. Let's go with glintstone pebble for it. Or not. Listen, but wait, let's talk it over. Gotcha, bitch. That's so good, isn't it? Isn't that amazing? Hold on, guys. I got to use up our stream time to ban some asshole bot. All right, here we go. Let's use it again. It just flattens things, which is just fun. You know what I mean? Like, that's just fun. And we get the steel wired torch. Torches are useful, especially if you are using builds where you are going to be using frost buildup a lot. Frost buildup can be essentially the way frost buildup works is you fill up a meter. Once the meter's full, the enemy takes a big amount of damage. That damage is based on the percentage of their total health, their total available health. So it'll remove like 8% of their health all in one big hit. But the problem is after you've already procced it, there's a time limit, a timer before you can start the buildup again. You can negate that timer by simply applying fire. You remove the timer and then you can start the buildup immediately all over again. Torches are great for doing that. This one is the steel wired torch. It requires 8 dexterity, 10 strength. And it says a torch wound with metal wire. The flame can illuminate dark locales or be used to attack enemies. Heavier than a normal torch, but the heated filament boosts fire damage dealt. And its skill is called Fire Breather. Blow into the torch flame, spreading flames in a wide frontward arc. The flame of the ground or on the ground will continue to burn for a short time. So it leaves behind a little AoE too on it. Athena says, laughing my ass off. I should have started weeks ago, but I thought I had more time. I know, right? That's the same place I was at. Like, I thought I had all kinds of time. I don't. Not at all. I believe there's an item back there. Yeah, there's an item that we're going to have to grab over there as well. So back down we go. The item we need to get's right here. And it's just a finger calling furl remedy. That is for a furl calling finger remedy. I'm sorry. That is for multiplayer. So no big worry there. Do we? The ladder. Where's the ladder at? I believe it's right here, right? No, it's over here. I'm trying to think where. There it is, right there. So the ladder that I showed you down below, that's where it would. That's where you would actually come up at. So you would actually start a little bit further ahead and sort of skip by the area that we just had to sort of move through. So this is our last blue drink for right now, which should be fine. I don't think we're gonna have too big of an issue. Let's stick with glintstone pebble for now. Jump on down. And the main enemies in this whole area that you have to deal with are going to be the ones that fly. They're kind of assholes. And there are 2 of them right here. Normally, they do not run on the ground like that, FYI. But they shoot a lot of arrows very quickly at you, and I hate them and everything about them. There's a golden rune 2 right there. And we have some smoldering butterflies that we can grab. I don't think there's any items here at all. There is a little ladder right here that we can take down, and a small little, just the ramparts essentially. And out at the end, I believe there's an item for us. There's also a little ambush waiting for us as well. And it is right around the corner from these. You can actually see the guy's head. It's a misbegotten just chilling. He's just chilling. He thinks he's real cute. You know what? Let's hit him with one of these. So As soon as they jump, if you can hit them when they jump, that will happen right there. Essentially, they'll get knocked back. Let's do a jumping attack on him. Insta-dead. And the item behind him is a smithing stone too. That's all. Did he have a drop? Oh, no, I thought he had a drop on him. So you can see this is actually the area that we moved our way through when we were making our way up. There's the ladder that would have led us up. And now we're essentially on the very last portion of this whole region here. Again, the main enemy that we are worried about is going to be the flying enemies. You can either take the ladder down here, or you can just simply roll off right here as well and break that. But the enemies that are flying are be the ones that you want to focus on first while this fight is happening. And he's down, and that kind of makes the whole fight a whole lot easier. So let's go with Glintstone Arc. And that is everything dead. God, a caster's fucking awesome in this game, man. I've never done it. I gotta say, I'm having a lot of fun with it. We got a drop off of that one as a golden rune. Actually, no, that was a pickup, a golden rune 2. And now we're actually gonna finally go and see Irina's father, the general of Castle Morn. And you can see essentially he's on the last stand right here. That was all of his men. If you let this fight play out, his men almost, I want to say 95% of the time, all of his men will die if you just let them all fight. Most of the time, his men will all die. And it essentially is sort of leading to the idea that he's the last stand, the last man standing, essentially just because of his pride and his need to fulfill his duty as general, he refuses to leave. So we're going to give him his daughter's note and give him a conversation.
There's a face I've not seen before. I'm Edgar, warden of this castle, as ordained by Lord Godric himself. But you can see how things have turned out. The menials have all rebelled. They gave me good service, or so I thought. But it seems it was all an act. Foul creatures, as it said, and true enough, they're foul inside and out. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but whatever you come here to do, I'm afraid Castle Morn won't hold much longer. Take this, by way of apology.
So he's going to give us a sacrificial twig, which is actually a talisman that stops you from ever losing your runes upon death. Or if you already died and you want to go back to get your runes, you can equip one of these, and if you die on the way back, it'll give you another chance to get back. So the more sacrificial twigs you have, the less likely you are going, because you can get multiple of these. I think we already have like 5 of them, but they're very useful. But he gave us some super good information, actually. He said that he was actually placed here by none other than Godric the Grafted, the man that is essentially the Lord of the Stormvale Castle. So you can sort of see how Godric the Grafted is manipulating the area around him, putting people in place of different castles around to sort of further his agenda. So he put him in place, but if you think back to Sir Kenneth Haight, he ousted him and put one of his captains in charge of Sir Kenneth Haight's castle down over in the Mistwood. So you can sort of see how he's manipulating the area around the castle to better protect himself. He's strategically thinking, how do I stay in power and keep the Tarnished from getting to me? Because I'm a shard bearer, I know that they're coming, sort of deal. So we're going to deliver Irina's letter to him.
I see. From Irina. Thank you. I'm in your debt, but I can't leave yet. Even if the castle should fall, as commander, I must remain to ensure the treasured sword of Morn does not fall into the wrong hands.
Okay, so now he just gave us some information. He says he wants to ensure that the treasured sword of Morn does not fall into the wrong hands. So there's the whole reason he's staying here, which means that this sword must be worth the effort, right? So let's give him another chatting. I'm pretty sure I'll just start repeating himself now.
If you see Irina, do tell her that her father will come for her once he's fulfilled his duty.
So now he's sort of give us some information or a little bit of a clue as to how we might continue his quest line. Obviously, if we're able to somehow get our hands on this sword, this sword of Castle Morn, then his duty would be fulfilled, and then he can move on.
If you see Arena, do.
And now he's repeating himself, so we know that we've exhausted all of his dialogue. Let's go get that sword, shall we? And we used up 4 of our drinks, and it's actually perfect because we have reached our first site of grace within the castle that we can actually go and make use of. BRB, it's lunchtime. Athena, I appreciate you. Go ahead, get your lunch, and we'll see when you get back. I'm not gonna lie, I might have burped while I was talking there, and I apologize. All right, let's sit down. Let's re-up our blue juice. And I think I'm gonna reallocate our flasks too. Yes, BRB. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. Allocate flask. Let's go. I feel like 6 drinks is more than enough. That would give us 1 more blue drink. Should we do 1 more? You know what? Let's do 5 and 6. Since we're casting a lot right now, let's do 5 and 6. All right, so essentially there's no way back over this. So once you make your way over here, you're kind of stuck, and you're forced to sort of look around. And if you look off the side, you can sort of see we can drop down off the edges here and eventually make our way down onto the rooftops. You can jump from this rooftop to that rooftop if you want. Or if you look off the front, you might be able to see it. I don't know if you can. Yeah, right there. There it is. There's an item for us to grab. It's another stone sword key. And we know we never have enough of those stone sword keys. We're going to make our way down to the bottom. These enemies right here, I never bother dealing with these. They tank a lot of damage, and there's no real need, I feel like, to fight them. But we have a +6 sword, and it still takes 3 or 4 hits to kill them. You can get glass shards from them, though, I guess. So if you're farming glass shards, or apparently smithing stone 2s, you can do that. Let's go back to this right here. We can see we do have 1 in here. Let's do a jump attack. Ah! Critical! And here's a good view, actually, right here. You can see just how many different, how chaotic these creatures are with feathers and the tail. Horny, like the toes are all like very, like claws and horns growing everywhere. There's scales on the tail. Like, they're very chaotic creatures. There is an item here, and it is a pickled turtle meat and an ambush. And anytime that something has a hold of you, if you spam the L1, R1, you can actually break away from that attack faster. And you see with a regular weapon just how tanky these enemies actually are. They can take quite a while to take out. So instead, we will switch. Just goes to show you how much damage our sword is actually doing. All right, and there's a spirit in a cage, and this kind of gives you a clue as to what might have happened before the siege, and once the Misbegotten first started rebelling. And it says, "Help! Please help me! I am of noble blood. I'm of noble blood. If those hideous mongrels eat me, I'll be forever marred. Anything but that, please. Think of the disgrace." There it is. So let's go kill everything. Got 1 here. And then up at the top, 1 more of these buttholes. Did he hear me? He must have heard me. Hey, sit down. I love it. It's so good. Lion's Claw, it's got to easily be the most satisfying of all of the weapon arts, in my opinion. I just have so much fun somersaulting and smashing my weapon down on something. And we're actually going to be able to unlock that to put on many different melee weapons later on in the game as well. So it's not like it's exclusive to just this weapon. We can get it and use it on other weapons as well. And there is a chest up here. Inside of the chest is going to be the Twin Blade Talisman. Twin Blade Talisman. And the Twin Blade Talisman reads, a talisman depicting a twin blade and a confessor enhances the final ending of a chain of attacks. The twin blade technique is a tradition of the confessors, who closely guarded the secret of how they preserve the momentum of their attacks. Thus, in the final strike of their onslaught, all the more deadly, making the final strike of it all the more. Thus is the final strike of their onslaught all the more deadly. Sorry. 8 times the charm. Man, my nose is itching so bad right now. All right, let's go ahead and slide down. We're not going to use it. And what it means by the successive chain of attacks is essentially you have combos. 1, 2, 3. That final hit would have been done more damage. Would have done more damage. All right, now we're going to roll off the bridge, and we can actually hear a teardrop scarab down below us right there. Let's get him. Or not. And that's going to give us back all of our drinks. And a tarnished gold flower on the ground. We've read about those before, so we don't need to read about that. And then we're sort of going to work our way down, and everything is sort of leading you towards the boss fog down there. So you can actually see the boss fight arena from where we stand. And the boss that we're actually going to fight, too, is slightly within view. Very hard to see. And we're actually going to make use of a weapon here. And it's requested by none other than Kind Gentleman. So, Kind Gentleman, if you're still watching, we're going to do this one for you, buddy. Because now I actually have the dexterity. But as we make our way down, you can see there is an item right here. It's a smithing stone, too. And there are some enemies down below us as well. All rats. Filthy little rats. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep Glintstone Arc, and we're just going to make our way out of the front door and sort of lure all of them, or one, apparently. The other ones don't care. And that's one good thing about heavy weapons is a lot of enemies, you're able to reel them back. Which makes fighting them a whole lot easier. Ow. You hit the door. And there is one misbegotten in here. You can sneak up on him. Give him the old back plunge. And the item that we are going to use for the boss fight is actually the whip. It is the whip. So this one, well, first off, it requires 14 dexterity, 8 strength in order to be able to wield it. And it reads, a leather whip, not originally used for combat, but is an instrument of pain. Though its supple attacks cannot be thwarted by parrying or even guarding, it is incapable of dealing critical hits, and its skill is kick. We're not going to be using that skill, kick, but we will be using this in the boss fight. And let's let these son of bitches know that the slavers are back. All right, it's time to wait. That's not okay. Forget it. Take that. I take it back. We might as well sit down right here as well. Let's go with Glintstone Pebble. So we are going to have a couple more misbegotten to kill along the way here. We're very close to the end, to the final boss fight here, though. And you can see we got a sleeper here, but we're not worried about him. We're more worried about this one. We want him out of the way. Whoa! Maybe I should have been worried about him. Can we give him an old whack with the whip here? Let him know Daddy's home. It's got a very short range. Oh, Jesus. Man, I didn't see that coming. Oh, yeah, I was going to get behind him. It doesn't do critical hits. Look at how far that swings. That's actually nutty. All right, here we go. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go grab the item that's over here. There's also 2 more items that we can actually pick up along the way. This one is throwing daggers. And if we take the ladder down here, you can jump off or take the ladder down. It doesn't matter which one you do. And then you can actually go around the rear of this little tower here. Go around the back. And in the back, there's a somber smithing stone 1. Used to upgrade any kind of special weapon, maybe including a sword that we're about to unlock.